Good evening, everyone. I have two startups. I would be more than happy if our other startups also will come over and sit here. Thank you very much. Yes. So, good evening, everyone. We have a lot of other things happening, so that now that you're here, I'm very excited. And how many of you guys have ever been into the pitch sessions before with me? Nice. Okay. So this is an event that is happening once a month, and what we're doing is that all of you guys are outside, you're doing your networking, you talk to other people, but a lot of you also have some interesting ideas and opportunities. We bring you here, you share your ideas with other people, we provide you with some feedback, hopefully some other recognitions from very generous people that we have on our side, and then they will be able to somehow try to help you with your journey, to hopefully try to make your journey a little bit happier. I wanted to start a presentation, and I was just thinking of how to do this. So hopefully we are still on time. First, we're going to do a little bit of introduction. Then every startup is going to have 5 minutes for the pitch, and then there's going to be 10 minutes for Q&A. And I would appreciate if you guys would start on time and finish on time. And starting on time also means that you would be next to me, so that the next person is going to very smoothly just go to the next person. How many of you guys know this guy? No. So in 1994, Toyota has a problem and they wanted to somehow try to fix their manufacturing. So they generated something very random, and that was a quick response code. And that's a QR code. So who knows how old is the QR code? Random number. Tech people? 20 years old, 50 years old?
I guess it was 1985.
1985? You're guessing my age or the QR code?
I know your age, so I think you know. So
yeah. Anybody?
15 years.
1994. So it's relatively a new thing. But I just really want to let you guys know that QR codes work. And now that you know that it works, I just would like you to take your phone out and then try to do something. Also, in case that you don't know how this works, just do zoom in and zoom out so that you will be able to have that. So the first one is an account on the OVHcloud for startups. I'm sure Natalia later is going to explain a little bit more about that part. You have your spot. And the second part is you would be able to book the CIC tour with the next lady that is sitting here. And that's also something that, again, she will be able to explain a little bit later. Third one, it is going to be Let's FinTech with Pekov and Polski. Sorry for jumping on that part. And you are in Thursday Gathering. This is not a once-in-a-lifetime event. This is an event that you can come here twice a month. And if you will just go there and register, you will be able to always receive the newsletters, and you make sure that the next event is going to happen. Startup Grind and Startup Digest are basically my organizations. First one is an event organizing, and we have a community of 5 million people globally. We will be able to connect you no matter where you are. And the last one is a Startup Digest. I'm curating the startups for the past 5 years. Every week you will be able to receive 5 to 7 events that are happening on the next week, and you see the news that happened on the last week. So you will be able to keep yourself updated. And for those of you who are scanning this QR code with your eyes, I really appreciate it, because I have a very strong feeling that you can do it, but you just have to really squeeze your eyes to be able to see the URL behind it. So if you guys would pass this, I would be able to just go back to our judges, and I would like to start with a few words from Natalia.
Hello, maybe I will stand up. Hey, I'm Natalia, and I am presenting, because Ahmad perfectly present us. And what I want to say, I think about it, and I think that we love working with startups. Why? Because we were a startup. Right now, we are a corporation, I know, but we feel like startups. We sometimes acting like startups, even if we are not the same size. And we have a special program for startups, actually. And we provided the free credits for using our cloud, but this is like the very not special part. But what is special in our program is that we have a personal contact with all founders that we have within this program. And we speak with you, we hear what do you need, and even if the needs are not a cloud, we can help you with PR activities, with VCs funds, or anything that you can imagine. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And the next person is Konrad. I know Konrad loves to be on stage, so.
Thank you, Ahmad. So, yes, my name is Konrad. I represent team Piraiee Bank Polski. We are also not a startup, but we are the biggest financial institution in Poland and CE region. But we believe that startups can help us to still be the biggest and to still be the innovation. That's why we are having the program called Let's FinTech to accelerate startups. We are accelerating startups. We are testing their solutions internally or offering to our clients. Thanks of it, we can help startups to scale and also offer new products. Thank you.
I mean, Konrad is not working for startups, but he had a startup and now he works in a corporation, and that's something that you need to have, because when you work with a corporate guy who doesn't know what a startup means or what startups are, your experience is going to be totally different. Now, Veronica, I mean, they're basically hosting us here, so.
Hello guys, I'm Veronica, I'm from CAC, so that's the owner of this beautiful space. So what we're doing, we're giving the space and actually managing this excellent space to help big companies, but also small companies to connect with each other to make like the ecosystem that is actually making the business doing easier. So we are taking care of everything that you can imagine in the office, but you can take care of the rest of your job and actually focus on your business. And we love to connect people, so that's why we have the Venture Cafe and such amazing people as Ahmad. So I'm very happy to be here and listen about your startups. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So if you will be a member of CSC, you have access to me. That's like, it's on the package. Yeah, I'm not going to make too much out of this whole story, but I'm here for the past 12, 13 years, and we do basically like ecosystem buildings and connecting people together, but generally speaking, adventure building. And if you guys would be able to see this, I'm just looking at it's in 2019, so I'm here for a while, and hopefully what I really would like to see from all of you guys is consistency. Right? Like, no matter what you do, if you keep doing it for 5, 6 years, it is gonna happen. It doesn't matter what you see right now and what is happening. If you don't mind, I also have a community partner. I would like Kasper to also say one word and then.
Thank you very much, guys. I'm Kasper Borski, CEO of Innovations Hub Foundation. We are helping startups in Poland to grow. We are focused on the pre-seed level, and I'm happy to be here again. Thanks for your invitation.
I'm going to use this, hopefully 2 more minutes that I have. Like, what I love about all of these guys that they're here, they're super humble, it's like they do a lot of other things, but they're just toning it down. So it's like Kasper, like they do, like, how many organizations do you guys have behind this whole story?
50.
Yeah. Also, Konrad, another thing you didn't mention, since till when they can apply for the FinTech program that you have?
I don't know, for 5 or 6 years.
Okay, yeah, that's also a very old story that happened. And like, as a part of this, that was the first blockchain integration that you have with Piraiee Bank Polski. So they have like 900,000 B2B customers. So these are huge stuff that you would be able to somehow tap into this, and you would be able to somehow use it for your own business and everything. So the feedback that they're giving you is not just a random thing, but rather you would be able to also think of integration that you might be able to have with the businesses and other things. With that, I don't want to take too much of your time. The only thing is that the clicker is not here, so I would like, if you don't mind, just to be able to do the clicking by yourself. And guys, before you start, I would like to say something totally different than what I said before. It's a hot seat here. Like, you guys are more comfortable, you have your drinks, and you sit down, and you just cross your legs, and you're just super relaxed. This is the hard part. So your attention here, and you, when you're clapping and like you're not talking, you give this person who is standing here a lot of confidence. So to show that, I would like to start with one round of applause. You can do better. Yes. Yes. So in that way, we are all participating here, right? So you give the confidence, and this lady here is going to somehow try to show you what the first startup called Waste Tracker is doing. So you have 5 minutes.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me. My name is Renata Hartel, and I'm here to talk to you about Waste Tracker. And before we dive in, by the show of hands, please, how many of you have put something to waste today? Wow, Piotr. Almost everybody do, and that's why you probably know what I'm going to be talking about, yeah? And honestly, I'm not going to be talking about waste alone. I want to talk to you about office buildings and waste in office buildings. And I know a thing or two about office buildings because I'm also an old story. I'm 15 years in commercial real estate. Been with Skanska, Colliers. I've been responsible for implementing innovations across buildings in Europe and the United States. And for many, many years, I have learned a few things about commercial real estate. Number one, it's a slow business, but it's a loyal one. 20-year-old technology, still a norm. And it's a business of measures. They measure everything. They measure square meters, they measure financial standings, they measure all the utilities, power consumption, water, and so on. For over 100 years, they have meters to measure electricity, water, gas, all the utilities, all but waste. And brilliant, yeah? Awesome idea, 5 stars. Let's measure waste. But actually, why? Why to measure waste now, after all these years that it has not been measured? Because our planet needs it. Our planet is in crisis, and we need to do something about waste, because it's not only carbon footprint, it's also destroying our planet ability to fight. And that's why European Union has said that big companies need to start reporting waste, how much they produce in their operations, and it's part of CSRD directive that became in effect this year. So all the big companies, banks, IT companies, consultants, and also landlords who own those big office buildings. So we want to help them do that, and we do it from 3 elements. Number one, we give them hardware that you can think of like a smart meter for waste. It's our terminal that you can see here. We give them software to report waste and understand it, and we give them advice and meaningful insights how to reduce waste to be zero waste business. Is it possible to be zero waste? It is, because zero waste means we don't send waste to landfill. There is no rotten chicken bones somewhere. It's circular economy, we compost, we recycle, we reuse. This is how Waste Tracker works. It's a very short movie. Thanks. So basically we install it in a common waste room. You've probably never seen a big waste room in an office building. Commercial cleaning take waste there. It's already separate, and they use their cards from access control that they move around the building. We recognize who they are, which language they talk. They put one type of waste on the scale, and they confirm which type of waste it is. Simple as that. Our hardware is industry scale, industry type touchscreen, access control, and we get data based on that. Of course, because we are a real estate company, we need to comply with many different standards. Green building certification, greenhouse gas protocol that says how ESG and carbon footprint should be reported. We're currently in 3 countries, Poland, Czech Republic, and Romania. We've been founded, when, Tomek? A year ago, not even, and we have 50 buildings over 1 million square meters in operation. Over 650 companies report with us. If you would be curious to talk, learn more about us, that's me, Renata, and Tomek. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's pretty on time. So now is time. I'm not sure who exactly is going to be the first person to ask the question. Otherwise, I will start.
You told me that we don't need to ask questions, just
It's a
give
feedback, exactly.
yeah, just give a feedback. First of all, I would like to appreciate that you are doing prop tech because I'm in OVH right now, but half of my life I was a startup founder, and I've done prop tech startup, and I know how hard it is to convince this very closed industry, you can say, in the technical aspects. And maybe I ask one question because I didn't catch one thing. When somebody put the trash on your hardware, this hardware analyze what is inside, or?
No, we do not analyze what's inside because the bags or carton boxes are already closed, and basically the separation of waste today works in the way that if you put it to blue, it goes to blue, and then you get a feedback from waste collector. Of course, we can provide our auditors that can check that and help buildings calculate carbon footprint of their waste and check if there are other policies that they should change in their waste management process, but we measure what's being put in bins.
I have another question, sorry, a very, very short one. What is your USP? Because I know lots of startup doing things like that, helps to analyze the waste in the commercial buildings, but what is USP yours?
So actually we don't have that much competition of analyzing waste in office buildings, but what the Waste Tracker was born from the idea of providing something that was actually not in the market, because I was researching waste management platforms for my client, Invesco, who own this beautiful building Q22, and we couldn't find a solution that would meet their needs. That's why I started to think how I can deliver this to that, and I met Tomek, and we decided to just create it from scratch. Our unique selling points are: number one, we are one-stop shop for waste, so we solve the problem of measuring, getting data, reporting data. No one has to be involved from a building operations team to download something, send it to occupier, answer the questions. Occupiers have direct access and they can see their own data. And because we are from real estate, both me, Tomek, most of our team, we also understand who plays which role and which troubles they have. So your account as a tenant answers your challenges as a tenant, your account as a property manager answer your challenges as a property manager.
Okay, so thank you for the presentation. I have one question. Who is your client? I mean, because you said, for example, banks or something need to, use the solution. But for example, because we are old companies, so we have some buildings that are our, but mainly new buildings are leased, yeah.
Yes.
And who is the client? Who has to measure report the waste?
So if we were to implement our solution in SkySava, our client would be PHN, yes? But Piraiee would be the final user of it. So our client is landlord, it's not corporate entity, but the owner of the building. And the owner of the building is usually an investment fund who manages the building as a building, it's their investment asset, and they need to comply with the law and provide solutions for their occupiers to stay there and pay rent. So they're very happy to implement ESG innovation as long as they meet the needs of a tenant, of a landlord, and they don't cause more trouble, but they actually solve the problem.
Okay, but for example, when the building has the stars of being ESG and blah blah, so it's like like 5 stars building has the waste reporting or not, or it's not.
It's a little more complicated than that, but for example, BREEAM green certification can be achieved on different level, and to be the highest outstanding level, you need to collect over a certain % of points that are available in the certification. So you may be an outstanding building without Waste Tracker, but if you have Waste Tracker, you will have more points and you don't have to do some bullshit, I don't know, study that doesn't give you anything to put some points in the certification.
Okay, okay.
I would just do a feedback, but if you don't mind on that side, because this is a perfect example that ideas are not startups. Like this isn't a startup. Like why it works for me, it's just because of you. But one thing that is missing was the team part of your, who you are, and like who are the people that are sitting on the corner, what are the recommendations that you have from already existing clients, that what we did is great. Yeah. Another thing also that really engages with people is number. Like we make 23% something lower. We are bringing your profitability 2.5% higher. Yeah. Because we are making something better, it's always something that I will just somehow try to understand it, but I don't. But the moment that we are just making something, like even what Conrad mentioned, like we bring you from 4-star to 5-star, if you would be quantitative, things gonna get way easier for everybody. Yeah. And I'm not going to go to your numbers, but also the barrier of entry and exit is also super interesting. On top of all of those things, also you talk about impact, but you don't talk about anything United Nations, like sustainability goals, like which goals are you following and how you're helping your customers to also follow which goals. Because these things would really narrow you down. And you do all of this, but you can put way more numbers on your presentation if, I can try to add it to everything else.
Thank you. Anything else?
I'm really excited also to be able to also try to see how some building like CIC and HPW is doing that, because I would say in Switzerland a house is way more like structured for the waste than some buildings here. Like you cannot put your waste outside in Switzerland without having a specific bag. Like it's not just random that you just get something and put it out there. But here I even sometimes see like people randomly put things in the garbage. And even if you waited, you still don't know if that was belonging to this company or the other company, because all of the blue ones go downstairs, and out of all the tenants of the biggest skyscraper in the European Union, you don't know which one of those tenants was not really putting like their garbages out, and I'm not sure if any company really doing that.
And because maybe it's not really the biggest problem in this whole chain. Because if you put, for example, something that should not be in plastic, this will be taken away at the plant. Giving responsibility to individuals is very, very difficult. Giving it to companies and big businesses that you need to take care of first reporting, so they start to understand that there's a problem. That's how we change the world, I think.
I mean, guys, please do recycle.
Wow, reduce, number one, reduce. Recycling is the last thing that can save us.
Exactly.
Stop using single-use things. If you can do one good change in your life, say no to paper plates, say no to plastic bottles, say no to things that you will only use once. Thank you.
Yes, and with that happy note, I also wanted to talk about politics, but I promise I'm not. So you guys know what I'm talking about. So, and with that happy note, I would pave now, and you have 5 minutes.
Thank you. Hello everyone, I'm Rajat Singh. I'm one of the co-founders for Pave Now. So I think this is what essentially summarizes us. So we are working on a platform which empowers startups, freelancers, small businesses essentially, by way of simplifying finance and also basically access to capital at the end of the day. So I think next comes the question. So how many of you here are owners of any kind of business, maybe freelancers or solo entrepreneurs? Okay, so I would say about 20%. Do any of the statements here, correlate to you, or you could relate to them essentially? Yeah. So yeah, probably about 15% of the 20% that we have here. So this is where we started. So me and my co-founder, we have been operators of SMEs in the past, and then we realized that it takes a lot of effort when it comes to doing the receivables or payables management essentially. And essentially it's time that you would have spent on actually growing your business rather than just doing documentations and maintaining multiple Excel sheets. So this is the core problem that we're trying to solve. So if you look at the biggest problem for startup, it's at the end of the day cash flow management. And if you dig deeper, it's because, one, you're spending a lot of time, so almost 20% per week is being spent on reconciliation or just managing your financials overall. And then the other thing, especially in Poland context, if you think about it, you have the companies, you're sending the reports out to your accountants, you wait for 30 days plus another 15 days for your accountants to process it, and that's when you get to know, oh, this is where I stand from a cash flow perspective. So it's almost 35 to even 40 days of lag in terms of you being able to understand where you stand as a company, which is quite deterrent to you in long term. And if you dig deeper, why this is happening is because on both sides, receivables or payables, you're having 4 to 5 different financial tools. You have Excel sheets, you have to email your vendors to keep track of your payments. You have another Excel sheet to maintain your reconciliations. You then have to download your bank statements and try to match to your invoices. So essentially on both sides, it's a similar thing. Some companies solve this by having a dedicated resource or just go with it. There's no clear solution around that. And this is also the reason of delayed payments at the end of the day. So how we are trying to solve as Chmielna is we are offering an all-in-one financial management solution. So it's not just the receivable side, but we are focusing on receivables and payable sides both. So it's a single tool where you can basically do your invoicing. It has auto reminders built in, so you don't have to go to your email box. We are doing inbuilt reconciliation within the module, and then you have exports to your accountant. I think that's the base part of at the end of the day. From a payables perspective, it's you have all of these receipts. For example, salespeople, they travel, they forget receipts, they have to send it to somebody, wait for the claims to get paid back to them. So essentially, just take out your phone, do a scanning. The AR digitizes your invoices. It has automatic approval lines. It goes for approvals to your managers, and then you can just track everything through a dashboard, either your employee as an admin. And then eventually we're bringing in lending very soon. So that's where we're using this data to also help the SMEs identify when they're going to hit a workflow block, working capital block, sorry, and that's where we want to help them through a lending product. So that's essentially the overall vision. At this point, we are live with the invoicing module and the bills generation modules. And later this quarter, we're coming up with the account reconciliation scope and also the first working capital loan product. And of course, we keep enhancing based on customer feedback, so that's where we are at. This is just part of the team, so we are, I think, 21 strong now. 14 of those are outside the globe, and I think we have Zofia here from our product team, and yeah, I think that's it for now. Yeah, so we are live. Please scan the QR code and you can join us. So we have an early access plan. Essentially, it's a free starter plan, 50 OCRs free every month, no credit card required. So please test it out, share your feedback with us, and that will help us improve the product. So that's my time, and open for questions. Thank you so much.
Timing is great. By the way, from what I learned is that they can just do this and scan your QR code. So if they don't take their phone out, don't worry about it. They know how to get there. Yeah, so that's very good. But guys, just to be clear, a lot of these things, they are somehow related to which you guys have, but you might not be able to have the opportunity right now to have, these guys and then talk to them. But remember that there's going to be outside and you would be able to just think about it. So if you have your own feedback, so you guys, maybe you need these things for your own solution, or maybe some of the solution is good for them, make sure that you just somehow stay in touch, and then on the networking part and everything outside, you will be able to somehow also get involved and do this. But I think more than anybody else, I would like to give it to the bank to be able to see, how your solution can somehow go there.
Yes, thank you. Well, thank you for the presentation. So basically, talking about feedback. So my presentation, the presentation as a document, but also you as a presenter. But what I'm missing in this presentation, and because the solution seems like has not be only one solution doing thing like this. So I'm missing the slide with which is competition. Your competition slides with probably what competitors are having and what you have better, or maybe the competitors are probably so this is mostly main important for me, and also I don't remember if you had the slide or not with the pricing.
For now it's free, so
free starter plan. So I guess that there will be so because I think this is also I think this is most important because let's say that this product, I understand that there is a need for this product, but it's everything is about the money, how much it will cost. Yeah. and that's the importance of it. So that's from my side.
Thank you so much for the feedback. Makes sense. Just to add to, in terms of competitors, I think Poland is definitely a competitive market. There are a lot of players. I think what differentiates us is, I think most of the players are doing one side of the thing. So either they are very focused on receivables and doing that well, of course. But I think our point is to do the full financial management, both from receivables and payable side. And second, I think where we'll differentiate ourselves is having lending on the same platform. So essentially, that would also be our big USP in coming days. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I only add that I also missed that part why you are so unique in a way, because you showed there's a problem, but for me, I see that a lot of SMEs are not using any external tools to automate some processes, but I think there are tools to automate this process, so that's why there's a reason why they are not getting to these tools. So in my opinion, you should focus about also what's your unique point and how you get to them. Because if there are competition on the market and they are not getting to them, the question is why. And I didn't see the answer here.
Thank you for that.
So what I would like to mention is that I hear you pitching first time probably, and not such a long time. So I would like to add a highlight on that I'm pretty happy to see that you did your presentation upgraded, and it's really looking good.
I have to thank that guy sitting over there.
Yeah, so as you see, the cooperation here is actually working. So yeah, I see that you take a lesson. I know that these advices are pretty important, and of course keep them in mind, but you're doing much better every time, so good job. Yeah, good job.
Yeah, I agree with all feedbacks, but I missed one information. It's about the product, because you mentioned all-in-one, like for financial, I can say, in startups. But can somehow I, like a startup, do my accounting within this within this your solution? I mean, because I put invoice, I put receipts and everything, but I need to have like my accounting to be done. And is it possible, do you think, to go in this direction, or it's not within your interest?
Yeah, that's a very good question, actually. So if I talk about Poland as a market in general, especially for small businesses, there is a lot of reliance on an external accountant. And that is because of various reasons. It's because the policies change quite a lot from a taxation perspective. So for an SME to keep track of it, it's very difficult. So hence the reliance on the external accountant, and they also help them remind about things, and then keep track of, let's say, ZUS payments or the tax payments. So what we learned is, at the end of the day, we want to be away from the accounting. So essentially the way the tool is built is we'll call it a pre-accounting tool with an export option to the accountant. And we also have access on the platform where the accountant can come in and download their own reports, which they need for, let's say, the month closing. Accounting is a totally different world. There's a bunch of solutions, and then you have to go much deeper, essentially. But our focus is to be the pre-accounting tool that simplifies everything, helps close faster, both from SME perspective and the accountant's perspective.
You mentioned Poland, but do you think to go to other markets?
Yes, so we are actually already live in Poland and Latvia, and our focus is Central Eastern Europe in general, so that's where we're focused on.
Why?
I think if you look at the market in general, there are definitely solutions that are again catering to each of these verticals. A lot of them have focused on the West, so I mean the obvious markets. There's not a lot of focus on Central Eastern Europe, and that's why when we started, we decided we want to focus on Central Eastern Europe. And of course, if things go well and we scale up, it's open to everywhere.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
One of the reasons I like your startup is that there is no AI in it. Like these days, like 9 out of 10 of the startups, like we do your accounting by AI and then we export it by AI.
and then AI would be able to somehow provide you with the chatbots to. So please just keep solid. You know, like everybody else is doing the AI, you just do that. But honestly, I would say one of the biggest problems that we have in the accounting here is that accounting is legally mandatory. So it's not that I would like to give my like 2 invoices per month to an accountant and pay 700 zloty, is that I have no other option. Another thing is also is making it a bit more unique in Poland is if you have a supermarket, you have a different accounting. If you have a non-profit foundation, you have a different accounting. If you have a fund from European Union or the government, you have different accounting. So if you really want to start, I would even say not even go to another country, but even try to narrow it down. Because the moment that all of your invoices would come out of a POS machine, you have a different set of accounting than a person who has to send an invoice to another person. If you are a non-profit foundation, and we have it with the Venture Capital Foundation and CACS because it is complicated, but sometimes you might not need it for your Spółka, but you need it for Fundacja. And maybe even you would be able to, even the opposite of right now, try to go when you're just on a trial mode to go global and make 500 mistakes at the same time. Try to really get a niche. Just go to supermarkets, because the accounting that comes out of an invoice, the POS machine, is usually the easiest fit for your application, because even the standard goes in a way that regardless of anything, the template is always going to be the same. But every company makes different invoices, and then you have to do OCR or whatever to be able to put it back into yours. But the outcome of all the POS machines are unique. So that would be way more simple for you to put it back into your application. Just because I know all of you guys already registered in this slide, I would like to say thank you and bring the next startup. Thank you very much,
Thank
guys.
you so much, guys.
Thank you. You can bring it, but I mean, they are in CIC, so even if you bring it, they know where to come after you. So, with that, by the way, this is not really the logo,
No.
but like I really tried to put a one-to-one logo of everybody,
I'm sorry,
and
it
then
just changed recently.
yeah, I really tried that. I was like, which part of this logo I'm just going to cut? So I basically just did my own graphic design.
Thank you.
5 minutes.
Thank you. So thank you very much for killing all the AI startups before we started to pitch. And I'm Tunç, living 12 years already in Poland, in Warsaw, happily living. So Stopia is born from the problem that I was facing with the municipalities. And I want to ask one question first, everyone. Who had trouble to process in municipality some documentation and everything? Who goes municipality and having problem with the dealing with the bureaucracy and everything? So most of you, even Polish people, you face it. We face it from the beginning because we don't know Polish, they don't speak English. But it is not only for personal to you guys. They are living and having problems between them as well, because bureaucracy change every 4 years, 5 years due to the democracy. So, and the teams are changing, and everybody is changing. Sometimes family friends are joining to the team and they are doing their job and stuff. So, Stopia is based on experience born in June 2024. And this is the real logo. We just update. So our platform is basically empowering the cities for to be more sustainable, data-driven partnerships to create, and long-term collaboration. Why? So, have you ever heard the sister city concept in all around the world that since a long time before QR code? Yeah, so sister city concept is basically lack of modernization, and it really dependent on the relationship between the people, not between the organizations, municipalities, or the cities overall, how they are acting. So with these outdated partnership models, we would like to make it more digitalized and create the AI model that analyze their data, that which they are collect each day in any IoT systems, any clever systems, any feedbacks. We want to make basically fragmented efforts to put their data analysis and give them exact results during their partnerships and what they should do as a partnerships. So we are aiming to solve these challenges and help with the AI that we would like to just ease their daily job and remove the dependencies of bureaucracy. So what we are doing, and I will say already, you will say that Tunç, you put each button in the keyboard to win the game. AI, blockchain, smart cities, off. Okay. So normally I didn't have blockchain, but since June, oh, come back. So I'm in tech as well. Since June, I am meeting with the cities. I'm meeting with the city funders. I'm giving speeches, making presentations, and all of them said something. Tunç, this is very nice. We would like to see how the MVP works. Lovely, we are putting an effort. But what they say is but why the public is not here? Why it's only us? Why we are not using integrating people into the city, say? So increase the tourism, for example. And we said, okay, we need to find a new idea to add on different phases. So blockchain will be coming over there. So we created in the idea that once we have all the targets done, we will create a city token, not public crypto, to help cities to share all those tourism efforts and sustainability efforts to share with the people. So if they will use as a discounts in the museum, renting a bike, using the public transportation. We want to make, okay, I make a typo or mistake here as well. Real-time carbon tracking, this is our end target. We would like to help the cities compete between them and find the right project for their sustainability efforts. So by that way, there are platforms today that for tracking your personal carbon footprint tracking, but there is no competition channels for the cities, how many parks you are building, how many parks you are building, plus how you are building, how many factories you are opening, how many trucks are entering daily in the city, decrease the carbon, increase the carbon, what is the total traffic. Individually, cities are tracking, but it's not a competition, and they cannot find most of the time the right solution. They always seek where the right solution is. And AI-driven matchmaking, this is actually, I am not saying all the time, but when I was doing the presentation, one Warsaw city municipality responsible person who is from the Michał actually, he was saying, oh, you are the Tinder of the cities then. And I was not sure what I should feel at first. But then I said that there is no bad marketing, there is always a marketing. So, when I say all the time sustainability, thanks to Ahmad, that I had to show, but it's good, that I added which type of sustainable development goals that we are following. You can see, I will not bother you, most of you that you know all those sustainability goals by UN. So I will share the presentation if you will ping me later on. So there is smart city solution. We are calling ourselves as that in that market, and you know that numbers are big. So I will not still kill you. I will focus on the main idea. But our target market is city councils, municipalities, and urban development organizations, which they are sharing the funds with the solutions. So our first target group is EU and North America. There is a reason behind. North America has very well organized, especially on the sister city concept. They are over like 300 connections they have with their partnerships, and they are actively working. And actually one of the parts that we have competition over there as a NGO.
30 seconds.
30 seconds? Okay. Mission, I pass. Some, I pass. What we do, city carbon footprint tracking, okay, so all of them, basically, what I say, the main idea, I will just talk about one real example and comparisons, that there are no digital solutions, there are sister cities, international organization, Metropolis, and there is another NGO, and none of them is offering any solution. They get high fees from the municipalities to make partnerships, but they don't offer any digital solution on that one. We are under development of the MVP, and we are planning to finish by June. We are still testing because we have open data provided by European Union. So we have 5 people team, finishing quickly. And we are both with Yusuf Can that you can see here. We have background with the municipalities, and the real problem comes, actually, I just want to give short anecdote. In Poland, when I was in Warsaw meeting with the Turkish community in Warsaw city, they were asking us, we would like to have a sister city relationship with Izmir. Izmir is my town, and I have connections with Izmir municipality. And I said, okay. And I went there, I checked. They said that, but we signed the agreement with sister city relationship in 1998. And we already make some projects, we buy from them trams, they buy from us bus, and we make this connection. And I said, come back to Rostov, and they said, really? We didn't know. So this is the results, because we started to get these stories a lot. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So again, guys, you have one of those QR codes. Also, we didn't want to kill AI. It's like AI is going to kill us. I mean, that's a whole different story. So, you know, like till I can. Also, guys, whenever somebody says Tinder, you don't have to turn the light off. Like, you know, like it's even if that's a Tinder, that's a different type of it. We still have some seats back there. I mean, there's like 1 or 2 of them left if you'd like to sit, because I understand that might be complicated. So, who would like to start first? Yes.
So thank you for the presentation. Of course, no, this was like there was not so much time. Yeah? So in the future you have to
Timing,
the timing is say shortly. But for example, when you are choosing the slides, when Ahmad said that you have 30 seconds, so from my perspective, you should maybe not showing a slide about the team. Of course, it's important, but I think right now we missed what the product is because finally you said on the very beginning the problem that everybody has in, but then I don't understand how
you're right. You're right.
So this one thing, and the second thing, if as I understand your client are the municipalities, so I recommend you because it's hard client, yeah, it's a client which don't usually cooperate with startups. Because of the buying process is quite hard, complicated, and I think like in Poland you have 2 cities, municipalities, maybe we've opened for probably such like this. I don't know if they really needed it, but I guess that you know. So there is a Zduńska Wola, which is very small, but it's very very open for innovation. They are using, they are also cooperating in startup booster programs. And I know it's like Zduńska Wola somewhere, I know even where it is, but they're very open for cooperating startups. And there's Warsaw Booster, yeah, this Entrepreneurship program of City of Warsaw. But I think Zduńska Wola is the place where you can start.
So, just shortly, you're right, totally. Sometimes I like to talking, so that's why all the time when I'm teaching, there's always 5 minutes counter, so I arrange it. But right now, I guess I lost the time. So, basically in Poland, every city is uploading to Eurostat is their data. So basically they are tracking something, they just don't show. Once they are able to show, this is the system that basically with the reading their data and will be creating infographics for them. They can publish those infographics, plus they can use to parse those data with the AI. And if they want to find a project with another city is applying and they can create a partnership and get the know-how, yes, this is the first product we are going to develop. And then the rest is coming, like city token economy, yes, phase 3 that we are planning to implement, like 2025 if everything goes well. Carbon footprint tracking, as we parse the data, we can force them to show exactly specific area that they can develop and we can reach the sustainability goals basically for each city. Collaboration dashboard, this is what I'm talking about. We will collaborate and we will create a connection between them.
If I can add something, the beginning, because I think it's the most important part, because if people don't understand the beginning, then it's really hard to get to them. So if you can show first slide, and you will ask people around it what your company is doing through this one-liner, I think that a lot of them will tell you different things.
Okay.
So maybe it's only my idea. Maybe you should start from this Tinder for cities. It's people thinking with pictures. So if you start with something which is familiar to people, it's easier to get what you are doing. So, and for me, the beginning is the most important part, because if you lose focus what you are doing, then it's hard to get anybody. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. It's very productive feedback, so I will work on it for sure. Thank you.
So I will only tell that I loved your energy through the speech, but I totally agree with the guys that maybe you should start from the first few slides. What is the product? Because that's what we missed. You actually explained it after Conrad asked you some questions, but otherwise the energy was flawless.
Yeah, and one thing, when I understand what you plan to do, because you're building the MVP, it's so huge. You have in my opinion, of course, in one product you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different products.
Yes.
And sometimes it's good to just see only the part of it, even if you have the idea, and it's very nice that you have, because it's for farther talking, speaking. I know that you provided this, but
No, I will just explain your idea.
but it could be overwhelmed, and sometimes people can think that you don't know what you should implement. Because it's okay. This one, Tinder, right? So I don't know.
You say Tinder is always
but this is the impression. But I like the one thing, because it's tough market. You mentioned that, but there's no solution. That you have. Maybe not. I cannot say no competition, but they are. I know some people working for some agencies for cities, and they have no tools. So if you catch the their needs, it could be very, very successful product.
Thank you. You're actually right that on your feedback I should have mentioned, because our development of MVP, the first product, is about AI matchmaking and the data dashboard. So first we want to provide, and we want here to work flawlessly, because the rest is coming basically all with data parsing and collecting the data with the pilots. And luckily we have communicated with in Turkey Istanbul, and Istanbul has great data parsing and infographics, and they promised that they will collaborate with us, but they want to see the MVP first. And then again in Turkey, because I'm Turkish, I have great connections over there. Okay, and luckily that Istanbul is the capital of Balkanian community for the C40, and in C40 that they were promising, and they were asking us to implement this if it is possible to make it regional way. So this one, once the MVP is done, this is the first door we are going to knock. And the second door is the Koalisya in Turkey. So they won around 75 municipalities in last election. And by coincidence, they were aiming to create between all those municipalities what they are doing right and how they can get this and share this between them. So we are able to we are working right now also during the MVP MVP development. We are working them to group basically all those communities and share between them the projects. So you are right, and I am trying to just explain how we are going to do all those needs, because these needs comes to us. I really said, I was honest about this. I didn't want to add anything about tokenization and anything, because it is right now the perception is not good as well. And it's also hard work. That's why I throw it to the phase 3 to open to the public people usage and so on. But those are coming from the feedbacks of the people.
Thank you very much. Don't go. Just guys, the reason that I was talking about AI and you said that I'm not killing the startup. I'm killing a distraction. No, but that's a very serious comment. Two things, guys. Only create a feedback or a new feature or a new solution for a person who wants to pay for your product. If I will come back to OVH and say that if you also would be able to, like get my data from my table, scan it and put it on the cloud, then I'm just going to get a subscription. You don't have to make that feature. Do it for a company that is 2 years your customer, and then after that do something. If CIC will come over and I was like, hey, can you also buy that building? Maybe I will be able to do this. Then like this CIC has to own all of the city that maybe one person wants to do something. Great idea, but too big and too huge. And the AI and blockchain and tokenization, honestly speaking, none of them needs to be there. Like you started from the beginning. If there is like community of 50 people that they are somehow try to, not to speak English or be around technology and everything, all of them are that municipality you want to do it, right? Like I always say, it's like, in Żabka people speak all the languages, but in municipalities they don't, right? So for you, just having Polish language as the main language might be more important than blockchain. And I'm partially joking about that part. So try to be honest with you, if I would be you, I would just go 3 steps back. Thank you. I will go 3 steps back and I will be able to see what is really the minimum viable product. And then try to do that. Because we also have to understand where we are doing stuff. If you know Michał on this side and another person on the other side, and both of them trust you, between Turkey and Poland you can work even without having all of these features. And with that I would like to say thank you very much. Yes. So, as we are a big fan of AI startups, I would like to give the microphone for our amazing AI startup. You have 5 minutes to start.
Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for coming, and I'm very happy to see that all the startups are basically, even if AI is still in all the different niches, so it's so amazing to see all of you coming here. And so my name is Elizabeth, and I am here with Reply Pilot. So I was for a long time thinking, actually 3 days, with which question should I start my presentation. And I believe this is something which will resonate with a lot of you if you are somehow on social medias, or at least a little bit. And I believe right now, businesses, I think most of them should be somewhere online. So this is where all the people are as well. So are we throwing in AI generic content on social medias? What do you think? Do you feel like there is a lot of AI content nowadays? And if yes, and if you see at least one AI generic
Can
post,
I ask ChatGPT to answer?
yeah, of course. But if you see at least one post a day, I believe this is a right trigger question actually. So, is there still a chance to make social medias social again? Is there still a chance to make people really interact with each other as it was maybe in the past days, and use AI only for the sake of helping us and making this journey even smoother for professionals, or maybe even for people just creating content, not only consuming? So what if I will tell you my personal story, which happened with me a few weeks ago, which I find super inspiring because it happened together with our tool. So basically it's me, I am as a user using Reply Pilot because I'm testing it, and I made myself a routine to use the tool, not just to test it, but actually to prove that we have a benefit for people. So Reply Pilot is a tool which supports people with communication on social medias. For now, focusing on commenting. What I was doing, I was using Reply Pilot every day with my X and with my LinkedIn, because for now you cannot grow your social medias if you only create content and post. To boost the algorithm and also to make some social kind of connections on social medias, you need to comment on other people's posts. Means engage, because you can start conversations this way. You can also move to the direct, and I believe there is a whole long story I can tell why you need to engage with people on social medias. But anyways, what I did, I was engaging every day on LinkedIn and on X. And on LinkedIn, if your network, if you have people in your network and you comment, people basically can see what you reply to, what you like, what you just repost or something like this. So I was doing doing it every day, and people were just like, you know, seeing that I am pretty active on social medias. And then what I did, I launched some automation, reaching out to people, use Reply Pilot, such a cool tool I'm building, we're early stage right now, but I would be very glad if you try. And you know, my network on LinkedIn is people to who I send my request to connect. So it's different, super successful, can be sometimes people which I don't know. So at some point in my automation ended up one person I was inspired by a lot. I was listening to his TED Talks. He did few successful companies, I'll be not mentioning names here, but anyways, I just dropped him this automated, little bit generic message, to be honest. And he replied, and he replied with the thing that I couldn't resist replying to you because I saw you so much pop up on my feed that I was like, I see your face like literally every day, so like, what do you do? So we started conversation, and this is why I moved it a little bit to VC, this is connections, and money is a very nice trigger for people to, let's say, pay attention to. So this connections through my commenting led me to introduction to some of the angel investors because we are currently a little bit fundraising. So any type of connection somebody can do to me is super beneficial. So basically my commenting led me to a very nice introductions I was not able to get because, you know, I'm here in Warsaw, these people who I spoke with were in, you know, States. So there's this little preview of what Reply Pilot made me, you know, have in my life. So if you do engagement on social medias, basically, if you do it in manual way, it's still possible, but it takes so much time and so much effort, even if sometimes you want to write meaningful comment on somebody else's post. So what do you need to do? Of course, you can use ChatGPT, you can go, you know, if it's one post a day you reply to, it's amazing, then just no problem, you go to ChatGPT, copy it, paste it, like
30 seconds.
30 seconds, oh, amazing, okay.
AI clearly is not helping.
That's the story I told. My pitch was very concise. Anyway, so we've built a tool. For now, it's a Chrome extension, which you can use on all social media platforms. It is personalized on your data, so it makes sure it engages like you with a quick /RP you need to put on social media. This is how it works. You can generate any type of communication. For now, it's only in the comment section. Soon, it's gonna be in a messages as well on social medias and as well on different platforms. So basically for now we are collaborating with creators because these are people who handle 200 plus comments and messages a day. So this is where our tool is super helpful. Okay, so our subscription model is our business model, and if we're gonna have 10,000 paying customers, we are gonna look at 1 million or and that's it. So our team is pretty experienced, so this is why we're gonna make it happen. I'm very sorry for my storytelling at the beginning.
Thank you very much, guys. Round of applause.
So it's a Reply Pilot. You can get the code for 1 month off if you're building a personal brand online.
As always, you don't need to take your phone out. If you just keep looking at the QR code, it's gonna come to you. So.
And my LinkedIn, because I will be very happy to do some demo or
Thank
something.
you for not taking your phone out. So guys, just to let you know, all of the startups that they were here, they had half an hour consulting, so we went through a lot of things. But that's the problem. When you're on a stage, sometimes you speak faster than when you do it when you're sitting over a cup of coffee, and sometimes it's slower. My recommendation to you is to don't be emotional. And I was like, now is the right time to talk about a very beautiful story and a slide that you told me for 5 seconds, and now this is going to be for 1.5 minutes, because especially your video was very inspiring, because it kind of shows what it is. So like people do not really have a question about that. And that story can somehow be at least said after you show the product, so that people will have a better understanding of how it works, right?
I can start. For me, if you are pitching, the most important part is that after the pitch, people are like writing to you or going to you and ask you more questions. And it's really positive because I like your storytelling, really. After this pitch, to be honest, I didn't see enough product, but I want to know what's the product. And the same as in the story, you write a post about everything and went to somebody, and the person said, oh, I see you so much, please tell me more. I have the same thing after that pitch. And I think you have a really good I can say talent for
Yeah.
storytelling, and it's not popular
Thank you so much.
in Poland, and I'm like
Impressed.
I'm impressed.
Speechless.
Yeah, speechless.
Thank you so much. Maybe I should mention I'm also Ukrainian, but I also speak Polish if needed.
Yeah, I totally agree with the storytelling part, and I think that it's actually pretty funny that you're speaking about the product and the AI, but you are yourself are telling like the truth from your inside. So that's what you can actually feel from your pitch, that you're taking care of that because this is your idea and that you really care for people to understand how did you find out about something like this. So it's a super good point. So don't worry about it. You will get better and better than this. And yeah, it's a very interesting product, especially as I am interested of the LinkedIn part, because for me it's such a mysterious place. So yeah, I would love to get to even know about your product more, to see how it's actually working on these places.
Thank you so much. Next time I'll for sure be more concise with time. But one thing I wanted to mention is that, you know, with all this AI hype, one thing I'm trying to pursue in my career as like marketer using a lot of AI, and I'm supporting people who's integrating AI in their workflows. What we try to do is to make AI your collaborator, not something which is replacing you. And this is what we do with Reply Pilot. And this is why it also does not kill an algorithm. It's a little secret because we don't like really automate all the communication we send out. You are the end person who press the button. In the future, we are planning to do something like a Tinder for this communication, but it's in the future. So yeah, for now like that. And thank you so much for the feedback.
Tinder everywhere. So. But yeah, I think the pitching is practicing, and it's no one. I think no one, but no one was born with, you know, that with best pitch, but yeah, abilities. But you have the spark. Well,
Yeah, this spark.
and that's I think that it will be easier for you to do this practicing this, because you have the spark and people want to hear you. And this is, yeah, I
Thank you so
completely
much.
agree.
It's so nice to hear.
But-
I will definitely practice.
But you have to practice, and if you have a spark, even more. And you have if you have a talent, you should practice even more, because you could be better and better faster. So this is one point. The second point, if you have such tool, you should be this is my impression, that you have to be very, very fast in implementation, because AI agents right now are super are everywhere, I can say, and especially on social media. So I would like to I would like to know why this is maybe from previous speeches, but why your tool is better than others, and what is right now is if it's we can use it or no, or it's ready, or you are under development. Thank you, and this is like the part that I would like to know. And I just need to mention it, but don't answer. You don't have to answer. In my mind, always with such tools is, and where is GDPR? Because you have an access to all my private messages, all my private accounts, and it could be really tricky when you have how your infrastructure should be secured. Exactly.
I have.
Oh, you have? So perfect.
Thank you so much for the feedback and for the questions. And here's some of the answers, but not all. So I will start from the beginning, or from the end better. So basically what we do, we don't, we train our own model, which is gonna be much more kind of careful about the private data. So for now we use like OpenAI models and as well Google models. But if you're talking about like the future, because for now we have B2C, let's say, tool, but we are looking at, if you look at the roadmap, like in the next 2 months, we are gonna have some B2B pilots. So basically we wanna work with businesses, and this is where we need to have pre-trained models specifically for them. So basically nobody else has access to this data. And there are also like a lot of conversations we have with different organizations. So basically the privacy is the #1 question basically everybody's asking. So this is something we really can do with our pre-trained model. And then we also, of course, like, let's say, promise with our whole heart not to use this data. And we're not gonna use this data. Of course, for now, we are a little bit using the data for our users, but only if they agree to this. So it's just only this way out. If you don't want your data to go around, then it just don't goes around. And I a little bit forgot the first question. So
Because you also have 30 seconds.
So that's okay.
I would try to somehow try to help you. Guys, one of the best ways to build something that really is meaningful is to immerse yourself with the idea. And that's why you guys are here. And you also would be able to pitch here. And I did not say that just to somehow try to plug myself and try to tell you to apply for our program and then try to pitch for the next month. But I just wanted to say that also Lisa was a part of a hackathon. That for a long time, she was a person who was really like deep down into the idea of seeing lots of different AIs being built inside the applications, that some of them work and some of them don't. So when you really see all of those things, then if there is a GDPR issue, there were 500 other startups that inside a hackathon, they were doing it and they were failing. If there was something that it was good, but it was not, so you can literally stay outside and see the success and failure of other people and make real good move without paying for it, because somebody else is doing that. Right now you guys are sitting super relaxed on the other side, and somebody else is being grilled by just, you know, like that was beautiful, and that was not beautiful, and too much AI and too little AI. So this is good. As long as you're not sitting at home, you add some values, and this is the result of you being in a hackathon, and now you have your own application, so you guys can also do the same. And with that, I would like to say thank you very much.
Thank you so much for feedback and for attention.
So, last but not the least, we have our Wade. So, let's just see if you can do it in 5 minutes.
Yeah, I'll try my best. I think I will manage to do it. So, yeah. Okay, hi everyone, I'm Kasper and this is Wade. At Wade, we are creating a tool for influencer marketers that helps them gather, manage and analyze the contacts that they get from influencers to make the whole process faster. But before we build any tool, we firstly talked to over 200 marketers from US and from EU to research on how their daily work looks like, what are their pain points, what are the strong points on the process. And all the process you can see on the iceberg behind me, where we mapped all the processes that happens when only one influencer work with agency, and on average, basic agency works with around 100 influencers per month. So what we did, because we have a lot of problems that we found, we chose the problem that was appearing the most and was the most painful for the agency, and it was the gathering, the managing, and the analyzing of the content, as I said in the beginning. So to give you a better perspective, the process without us looked like this. First, the agency needs to gather content. It do it by gathering from email, from like the Google disk, from the WhatsApp, from the Instagram, from like all the places around. Then it needs to be statused for like the agency to know what material is already gathered, or what they need to do gather more. Then this is like the part that like takes the most time, because it's the analyzing of the content. So basically, the marketer needs to watch every single material, even 2 to 3 times, and compare it with the brief that it gets from the client, and see what exactly the influencers skipped from the brief and what didn't go well and stuff like that. Then he needs to create feedback for the influencers and then send it over. The next 2 steps are real simple, because it's like the forwarding the materials for the client and then gathering feedback. But this is small steps, but Also, with like the capacity of the influencers in each campaign, it takes a lot of time and it could be easily automated. So, what we are doing right now, we simplified the process to marketers just need to set up the campaign. Then he needs to add the influencers. He can upload or add them manually. Then the system will gather all the content from the influencers by like connecting the marketer can connect the tool to their Gmail, for example, and the system will automatically gather all the content from the influencers that they sent over. Then the system automatically will make analysis and decide if the analysis is good enough or it needs to be still like looked up by marketer. And then marketer just need to accept or change the AI analysis. So right now we already have one paying client, the DP Media, this is agency from France, and other 10 customers that are right now testing us. But to give you like the example on real campaign, this is Arthur. Arthur is the CEO of small influencer agency. He's also influencer, so he gave us a lot of feedback from the other side. And he came to us with the fashion campaign with around 200 influencers. And 200 influencers equals around 400 to 600 materials to review. And this is equal to 106 hours of work and $160 to spend. So we've talked with him, and we approved that without our tool, it would get like he would need to spend almost 110 hours to do this campaign, and we've managed to do it only in 19 hours and saved him almost $600. But we're not building this alone because me and my co-founder don't exactly have big experience in influencer marketing, so we decided to gather the board of experts from influencer marketing. These are the marketers from all around Europe and US, and they help us on a daily basis to build the tool. They basically provide us feedback, provide us materials to check our tool. Yeah. So right now we're after first pilots, so first paying client and develop an MVP. Right now we're closing another clients, and just like we need to decide on exactly what path we want to do, what develop next. So yeah, the market is pretty big and is growing year to year, so it's a good thing. Our business model is based on subscription. That is based on the amount of materials that the marketers needs to approve and analyze. And me and Mirala, we're tech and sales-based people that worked and right now are working in other startups. And also there's on our board, there's also Marcin Wawyszak, that is co-founder and CEO of Kanzi. That is our advisor and helping us in developing the weight. There's also there's also Wojtek Przechodzin that is helping us with like our technical side as an advisor. Yeah, so if you are interested in, join us and help us developing our tool. Thanks.
Thank you very much. 30 seconds. Yeah. that was really good. Just that's also what you see. You're an engineer and you're a storyteller. You see, like there's no good or bad. It's just that's one of the things that when we're talking about diversity in a team, that's what we really need. We need the person who thinks logical and say 1, 2, and a 3, and we need the person who just comes back and tries to say the same thing in a form of a story. Like, trust me, again, I said I'm not going to talk about politics, but that's the whole story, guys. It is not just randomly put a white person next to a black person next to something, but literally in this session, we had a Polish person, we had a Turkish person, we had I still don't know what my nationality is. Yeah, but like your team is so diverse that like I never want to just, go with the stereotype, and a Ukrainian. So it just shows you that when you have this diversity, you learn way more than when you're just literally saying, you know what, we're going to bring everybody from Chmielna of Warsaw and then we learn everything about everything. And that also goes back to the same story of like having an engineer's mind and a person who is an operational person, a person who is a dreamer, a person who is a storyteller. This is really inspiring for me. I mean, other than all of the ideas that all of you are technically a Tinder, you know, one of them is connecting, you know, waste to the different baskets, you know, like you connect influencers with other, but you know, in the end, as long as the light is not going to go up, I'm still going to talk about it. Feedbacks.
Okay, Kasper, thank you for the presentation. I really like it. I mean, it was you fit the 5 times so great. But I believe that that this you know like that the solution is needed by the marketing agencies. But what I missed is but also I think that there is some competitors. Maybe not. Somehow, I guess also that somehow you can do it in ClickUp or some task manager. So of course, probably it will be better to use White, but I think some agencies probably are using some task managers. So I'm missing the slide, which is how the people are doing right now, because even if it's not my business, but I'm 100% sure that it's not everybody are using Gmail like your old way. Yeah? For sure, there are some people are using some task managers or a CRM or other stuff. So what I'm missing is the some slide of the competitors or. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so basically there is a competition because it's like it's not a new problem, but the thing is that there's no tool that connects like all the dots, because basically you can do analyze over the content with the Gemini. It would not be perfect, like it would have like a lot missing parts, but you can do it. It is acceptable, but Gemini will not gather your content. It will not pass it further to the client. It will not like automate stuff. So like basically there's a company in Czech right now that gathered the round. Like I would say, I think 3 months ago, that is doing basically a similar thing, but the thing is that they do not focus on the influencers. That they are like doing all the not only social media, but like the all the work with the briefs. So for example, briefs for the events and stuff like that. So yeah.
Maybe I would try to see if I can change your mind. If I would start the first part of your pitch, is that micro-influencers, and we talked about the fact of not saying influencers, and you did not change that part, because none of the things that you say are influencers, are micro-influencers. Like, you know, major influencers, you cannot ask Beyonce to come over and then I would manage your content, right? This is a micro-influencer. Micro-influencer might be one of the most efficient way for marketing. And Piraiee does marketing. So if you would like to do marketing, the best way for you to have those customer clicks and get your customers is through micro-influencers. If you want to work with an agency, that agency has a lot of overhead costs that this company would be able to somehow reduce that. So you do work with them. You just don't know it yet. So.
I mean, like don't tell me, but I like your product. I probably like Mika. We are not working with the influencer directly. We are using the agencies, so probably the agencies are using. I just missing the slide of the competition. This is the way. Thank you.
Can I say something? Actually, I'm impressed because I just saw on the last slide that you are CTO, and I think it could be one of the best presentation done by CTO, because it's the tough project for people like the technical one, like I say, and I really like your logical in your presentation. I understand what we are doing. I understand exactly what the problem is, how you help the companies. Every step in the perfect pitch you've done. So congrats, seriously. And yeah, this is my feedback actually.
Thank you.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, and that's what I wanted to say, that I saw that you're a little bit stressed. So I think that you should be proud of yourself, because from the first slide, I knew what are you talking about. I already know what is the product. I know what the problem is solving. So yeah, it was a great pitch, and it's a great product, and I know that it's, maybe I'm not, I won't be the user of it, but I can see that you studied it and you actually found the problem and the people who will be using that. So yeah, congrats.
Thank you very much.
I know you, Kasper and Piraiee, for a longer time, and it's important, ladies and gentlemen, to add this, because I think he didn't put attention here, but they started like really recently, and they are moving really fast. And when I met Piraiee and then after that Kasper, the same as there was a spark in storytelling, the same in this team I saw a spark. They like naturally know what to do next, and it's also not a common trait in this region. And they achieved so many things, like figuring things by themselves, and they got to clients, and that's why it's impressive, and you made a really big progress. And only one thing, you should like more also show this fast movement and how quickly you act, and you are building your startup.
Yeah, there was
Yeah, but you see, it's only yeah, it's only quarters, and people are not. I think you need to change a little bit this slide.
I missed this part.
Yeah, it's really fast.
Okay, I can add a little bit dramaturgy, because in Q2 I have Matura exam, and we did we did almost like over 200 interviews when I was studying to my Matura. Piraiee is here. Thanks. So yeah, like Q2 was actually like the killer for both of me and Piraiee. So yeah, thanks for this, because yeah, we are moving fast because we want to move fast.
And show it more. Show it more.
Yeah, but again, I understand it, because that's an engineering mind, not a sales mind. Like, why is that relevant? Is that gonna do some debugging? And I was like, no. And I was like, so let's forget about the speed part. So, guys, thank you very much for everything. All the people that they participated, they're gonna have a package that hopefully also that is going to somehow help you. However, we have two very inspiring and interesting organizations that they promised that they will choose one of the startups, and Natalia and Veronica are going to give us one of them. I know that these guys in 2 seconds they're going to leave the room, and then they're not going to come back in 1 month. So with that, I was just thinking that would it be possible with the just right now try to tell me which one of those 5 would be your choice, or you need some time to think about it?
Would you give us
few seconds? Of course, of course. Thank you very much. Round of applause for this gentleman. Of course. So guys, let me tell you my own story. So when I was 2 years old, so I know that you guys love QR codes, and I think after this you guys are gonna have an allergy for this. So 2 things, guys. All of these guys, they received 3 things. First of all, we went through a little bit of a qualification to see who is who. After that, they had half an hour consulting so that these presentations would happen with the way quality and that it is. Hopefully, after the feedback that, again, as you can see from different sectors and from different industries they had, they can also try to go back and try to make it better. Also, we're going to give them another consulting. I'm just thinking between half an hour to 1 hour to try to see what we can do, so that also another coach would be able to help you, but this time way more on the side of more verbal communication and how you can try to do the delivery part of that. Maybe even, for example, when you have a problem with the time, but your content is good, that part is also going to be fine for you. And also mention it to you guys, because if you would be able to also apply for the next edition, and some of you are sitting in the back, you already know that, you would be able to somehow try to, find yourself here and receive all of those things. And if you feel that somebody else also has the same idea, that they would somehow try to benefit from this, that would be great if you guys would be able to
somehow try to do recommendation, talk to them. You can always, like get in touch with the Startup Digest newsletter, because that's something that I aggregate all of the new events and everything that are happening here, and you can always come back and get in touch with us. I don't have a problem with talking for another 2 more hours here, but I just want to make sure that I will give this more on that side. I will do something totally different. I can see that we had some casualties of the startups, but one of 3 of you would like to say some feedback about the consulting that we had from your pitch deck before and after that. Would you like to say something for 30 seconds?
So, because before, this is my 3rd pitch actually, so during the idea, I told you that there's a lot of ideas and edits. Actually today feedbacks are very enlightening as well, so I will update for sure. And after I talk with you, you know that I had some timing issues, but I sit at night and change everything. Actually the structure make more sense after I talk with you, because previously it was more about focusing the idea, not showing the other stuff, and the marketing data, that I didn't have a chance to talk with the marketing data because of the timing. But it was very constructive feedbacks, so I assume with the limited time that I have that I apply, and with these feedbacks I will simplify it for sure, because it always, first you have an idea and you put everything, splash on the pointer, and then you go and talk and simplify it, make it more crowded, and right now it's time to simplify, because the third is the charm, so I think I can still continue right now, I have time. Keep track. Do you have any? So I invite you all to present your startups here while they're deciding. Okay, I'm trying to get a hint from them.
So what was the most unexpected thing that you learned on your experimentation now with?
I mean, unexpected. That people love the term of Tinder of the cities. That is really unexpected. I mean, as I said, I am thinking that this is like a bad marketing, because oh, Tinder, you're married. What are you doing? It's something like this. And when actually they were saying that is the most understandable term. So you simplify the product. So for me, this is the one. Any other question or any other feedback? Oh, finally.
Thank you very much. I didn't know that you can stop talking, and now that I wanted.
No, just give me the topic. I will.
Of course. So, guys, we have the answer. I would just first start with Veronica, that she would be able to be on stage and would be able to tell us. I'm not sure if you have a drum somewhere, just to be able to just make it a bit more dramatic. I also see that one of our startups just totally left. So either they are 100% sure that they're not going to win anything, or they're sure that they're winning and they're just. Yeah. Somebody would be able to see them outside, maybe we would be able to somehow bring them back. Would you like to? Please. I'm just going to see if I can find Renata.
It would be nice to have Renata here, because I love the pitches, I love the ideas, and it's actually, I'm very happy that you find our spaces interesting to introduce your product, and I'm more than happy to connect with you, to be able to work with you in our space. But I need to wait for Ahmad to be back, because as a CAC we prepared a voucher for 1 month membership in our co-working, and what I think is going to be a good journey for the waste tracker, because that's what I think would be nice to have in our space. Is actually them, because of the fact that the ESG is actually a very important topic right now, also in real estate, but also in this building. We're trying to be as friendly to environment as it's possible, and that's what our clients also want from us. Some reports, some data and stuff like this. So I think that maybe if they will come sometime.
How many of you guys have a young kid? Yeah, so now you understand where Renata left. So I'm just
Hello.
Oh my
Guys.
God. Okay.
So we are about to close. So
Yeah, but
if
we
you have a
7
husband,
minutes.
if you have a wife, if you have a brother, a sister, so we need to go home to see them, okay? So please make it faster tonight. Okay?
So-
Thank you for that.
Thank you for that.
It's the idea
So-
of Slavic tonight.
Okay, so if you don't mind, on behalf of Renata, I will just receive it and then I will be able to pass it to her. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes. So guys, if you have a wallet or anything else, I can always just take it on your behalf. And maybe also you would like to.
Okay, 30 seconds. So I believe, I know that there are emotional decisions and irrational decisions. And I think I made right now both of them. And I invite...
Nasze wydarzenie dobiegło końca. Widzimy się następnym razem. Zapraszamy na dół, ponieważ będziemy przygotowywać się do następnego wydarzenia.
Wady. Congrats. I'm impressed. I'm impressed by your teach. I'm impressed by what you're doing. You're being so fast, and thank you, Kasper, to mention it. And I love to be with very unexceptional founders. And if you mention a Matura exam during your startup, it's like out of mind. So congrats again, and I'm happy that we can collaborate.
Thanks, but I think we already are in your program. Yeah, because we already won the Incube startup pitch.
Nice one.
Sorry, I need to add.
So it's the right decision.
It's the right decision, but for my explanation, I'm after maternity leave 1 year ago, so I'm here back, but I'm not sure about all my startups in the program. But again, congrats! It's my decision.
You just show that you definitely made the right decision. You know? That was the test. You just wanted to tell you that when you got this is for that time. So thank you very much, guys. Before they're going to have another announcement, I mean, first we have to make sure that this monumental moment is going to somehow be documented. Thank you very much, guys. I'm sure that all of you scanned this. And for your information, the way to apply is to go through this QR code that is here. So don't take your phone out, but really squeeze your eyes and you will be able to get the QR code out. But this application is exactly what you have for the startup program for the OVH. This is where you would be able to book a tour with Veronica. And there you would be able to apply for the fintech with Bekowa and Polski. On the lower part, you would be able to register for the startup grind and the Thursday gathering so that you will be able to get notifications. And here you would be able to join the startup grind. And the last one is the newsletter you will be able to have. I would like to say thank you for all of you to spend all of this time here. Looking forward to maybe seeing some of you on this part and the rest of you on that side. Thank you very much.
Co?